So I'm 23 from the UK. I run a faceless YouTube channel called Wi-Fi Uni with 25,000 subscribers, making around $2,000 a month. And today I want to explain one decision that I think is responsible for most of that, which is building around education rather than entertainment. And I want to back this up with actual numbers rather than just opinions, because I think the data makes the argument better than anything else. Please excuse this AI slop voice. I promise the value in this video is worth it. So let me start with CPM, because I think it's the most concrete way to show the difference between these two types of content. And CPM stands for cost per mil, which is basically what advertisers pay per 1,000 views on your videos. And the gap between education and entertainment on this number is genuinely significant. The average CPM for entertainment content, gaming, vlogs, reaction videos, that kind of thing, sits somewhere around $2 to $4 per 1,000 views. And for educational content, in a high-value niche like AI, finance, software, or making money online, it's closer to $10 to $20 per 1,000 views. And what this means in practice is that an education channel can make 5 to 10 times more money per view than an entertainment channel of the exact same size. And that gap doesn't shrink as the channel grows, it compounds, because the audience you're building in an education niche is just inherently more valuable to advertisers than the audience you build in entertainment. And I want to be clear about why that gap exists, because I don't think it's arbitrary. It comes down to the intent of the viewer. Like, someone watching an entertainment video is there to switch off. They want to be amused or distracted. They're not thinking about buying anything. They're not looking for solutions to problems. They just want to watch something enjoyable. And that's a perfectly valid reason to watch YouTube. But it makes that viewer pretty low value to most advertisers, because the chances of them being in a buying mindset while they're watching are low. An education viewer is completely different because they came to the video specifically to learn how to do something or find out about something. And that intent means they're actively engaged with the topic. They're thinking about it, they're considering their options, and if one of those options happens to be a product or tool that a sponsor is selling, the chances of them actually being interested in it are significantly higher than a viewer who's just there to be entertained. But here's the thing. CPM and AdSense are actually the least interesting part of this argument for me personally, because AdSense is only $100 of my $2,000 a month. So even if my CPM was twice as high, it wouldn't move the needle that much at my current view count. And what actually drives the income is sponsors and affiliates, and the education advantage is even more pronounced there. Sponsors pay me between $100 and $200 per video, and they do that not because I have a massive channel, but because my audience is specifically people who are trying to make money with AI, people who are actively looking for tools, people who are in that mindset of wanting to build something or improve something. And a company selling an AI tool would genuinely rather reach 25,000 of those people than 250,000 people watching entertainment content, because the conversion rate on the first group is just so much higher. And this is the bit that I think most people starting YouTube channels don't fully think through before they choose their niche, because they're optimizing for views. They're thinking about what content is going to get the most clicks and the most watch time, which naturally pulls you towards entertainment, because entertainment content is more broadly appealing. More people want to watch it. But broad appeal and monetization value are not the same thing. And in a lot of cases, they're actually inversely related, because the more broadly appealing your content is, the less specific your audience is, and the less valuable that audience is to most advertisers. My 25,000 subscribers are worth more per person to the right sponsor than 250,000 subscribers watching gaming content. And that's not a small difference. That's the difference between making $2,000 a month and making a fraction of that. And it comes entirely from the decision to build around education in a specific high-value niche, rather than chasing views with entertainment. The affiliate income makes the same point from a slightly different angle, and I make around $200 a month from affiliate links, which is tools I recommend in my videos that pay me a cut when someone signs up through my link. And the reason that works is exactly the same reason sponsors work, which is that the audience came to the video to learn about tools and methods and workflows. And when I mention a tool that's relevant to what they're trying to do, some of them click through and sign up because they're already in the mindset of looking for solutions. If I was making entertainment content, those same viewers would watch the video, enjoy it, and move on, because there's no natural connection between being entertained and buying a software tool. The intent just isn't there. And affiliate links in entertainment content essentially perform like banner ads, which is to say, they mostly get ignored. But in educational content, the affiliate link is almost a natural extension of the video itself. Like, I just taught you how to do something, and here's a tool that makes it easier. And because the viewer was already engaged with the topic and already thinking about how to apply what they've just learned, a decent percentage of them will click. And that passive income just sits there in the description of every relevant video I've ever made, earning without me doing anything. And the only reason there's a meaningful amount of it is because the education format makes the audience receptive to it in a way that entertainment never could. There's also a longer-term argument here about the type of community you build. And I think this is relevant to the school side of things as well, because an entertainment audience follows you for the content itself, for the entertainment value of the specific videos, and that's quite a shallow relationship, in the sense that if the videos stop being entertaining, they leave. Whereas an education audience follows you because they trust that you know things they want to learn, and that trust is a much deeper and more durable relationship, because it's based on genuine value rather than just enjoyment. And what this means in practice is that an education audience is more likely to join a community, more likely to buy a course, more likely to pay for one-to-one coaching, more likely to follow you across platforms, because the relationship is built on something more substantial than just finding your videos fun to watch. And I've seen that play out with the school community, where the people joining are genuinely engaged and the churn has been low. And I think that comes directly from the fact that the YouTube audience is an education audience that trusts the channel, rather than an entertainment audience that just watches it. So if I had to summarize the whole argument, it comes down to this. Education content attracts an audience with buying intent. Buying intent is what makes an audience valuable to sponsors and affiliates. Sponsors and affiliates are where the real money is at a small channel size. And building a community on top of an education audience works because the relationship is deeper and based on trust, rather than just entertainment value. I made $2,000 last month from 25,000 subscribers, and I genuinely think that number would be a fraction of what it is if I built an entertainment channel instead, even if that entertainment channel had twice the subscribers, because the monetization model would be completely different, and the audience would be worth so much less per person to the people who actually pay creators. The decision about what kind of channel to build is the most important decision you'll make, and I think most people make it without really thinking through the monetization implications. And the data suggests pretty clearly that education in a high-value niche is where the money is if you're trying to build something real from a relatively small audience. If you want help building something with this kind of model, the school is linked in the description. There's direct feedback available depending on which tier you join. Cheers for watching.